Guys, look at this glorious shit being built. I don't have to do anything. These guys just keep on coming, building my stuff that I want to be built. All we really need is going to be a supply. Anyway, welcome to episode 16 of season 4 of Factorio. Today I want to focus on getting the means for expansion, because one of the things we need is more iron ore. We are running out of it. And what we want to do is we want to start making outposts exactly for that reason. So we have a little bit of iron ore that we could capture right here. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. But I would also like to expand towards this ore patch. And we would also get coal from that, and we would also get stone from there, and we could even get a uranium ore. So this would be a neat little expansion that we could get. However, aliens are getting stronger, and what I kind of want to do is I want to get a laser turret set up so that we can start expanding on that. However, what we're going to need for laser turrets is we are going to need a massive amount of energy stockpiled, and we don't have that right now. So if you look at our energy production, yeah, it's enough. Right now it is enough, but we definitely need more, and we could store it. We could store it inside our accumulators, which we are currently making. So in a second we're going to get some more of that. I've also continued making some more roboports and spreading them out throughout our territory. As you can see, when we press the logistic networks button, we have nearly covered the entire factory. But what we have covered, of course, is the outer perimeter, so we should be safe. Anything that gets damaged, like the stuff right here, we have a lot of aliens coming in, it is going to get repaired by our builder robots. So as soon as they run out of energy, they're going to fly back, they're going to get energy back, and then they're going to fly out again to repair our stuff. So that is all working well. But like I said, we want to expand because we need more resources. But first things first, let's have a look at accumulators. We need to create a decent field of it, and right now we don't have any in our inventory. So we did automate that entire process. We're getting enough research for all the things. Currently I'm researching inserter capacity bonus free, which basically means that our inserters can grab more stuff. Pretty soon, however, we will want to make more I forgot what I was going to say. To be honest, I've had a little bit to drink, so I kind of forgot what I had to say. But let's see, let's get maybe 200 of these, and then we need to start making accumulator fields. Now what we could do is we could use this time to create a bunch of these medium electrical poles, because we will want to use them for what we want to do right now. We can turn this off. Let's have a look. We could make it around here, but maybe we want to keep this for additional production stuff. Meanwhile, inserter capacity bonus free is finished. We could start researching something else. Lab research speed free. That sounds good. Now we want to have solar fields and stuff like that. We have a lot of power over here, so we might as well start making that up towards the power area. I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Keeping all the power related stuff in the power area. So that is what we're going to do. But man, we really do need to expand. But like I said, we want to have laser turrets, and for laser turrets we want to have power stored up, which we are currently not doing. Meanwhile, all of these guys are still out of a job as well, and this wall is kind of annoying, so we're going to get rid of that because it is not really beneficial. But we have some robots coming in, flying in to take all of this stuff away, which is fantastic. Alright then, now let's see, we could expand this because we have, let's have a look. This is the offshore pump that is producing water for all of these things. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So basically we have 16. That means we can have 4 more, and then we will be at our maximum capacity for this stuff. So let's have a look. We have 6. Basically we need 8 steam engines. We need 4 boilers, which we now have. So we're going to start hooking this up. Let's have a look. And this just barely doesn't fit. So we're going to have to expand this on the other side. But on this side, we will have 6 more steam engines. There we go. Now another thing that we have to expand upon is automatic production of power poles, because I have to keep doing it myself right now, which is a fair bit annoying. Luckily though, we have plenty of pipes, so we can hook all of this stuff up so that it has water. We have plenty of these automated inserters, and now we just need a few more electrical poles. And like I said, we are going to have to want to automate this process. Right now we really cannot do much to really automate this process, because for that we are going to want to have requester chests, which right now are not really possible for us to get. We need late game research to be able to access that kind of stuff. We could set up a little system in the meantime though. Right, so we had these guys. They can start producing stuff now as well. Let's have a look. There we go, it has an inserter arm. And now we need to have a look at these guys. They still need inserter arms as well, right? No, we already did that. Okay. So this is basically 2 blocks of 40 steam engines each. I think this is going to have to be enough. Meanwhile, we're going to start working on a little design for accumulators. Now what we could do is, let's have a look. We have the medium electrical pole. The medium electrical pole covers a fair distance of stuff. So we could have a look at that. We could say start here. We can have 4 that way. We could have 4 that way. Right, we could have 1 over here, and then 1 doesn't fit there, but we could put a light in there, and we could continue this design. So need to get a little bit closer. That is 1 row. Then we're going to get 2 over here, and that means we would have another one of these guys over here. And now we can have 4 more over here. Now something got damaged along the way. We have, holy shit. We have a decent attack coming in. We have a lot of spitters heading our way. Some stuff is getting damaged. However, this should be in our range for repairs. So this guy almost got destroyed. And basically we have the basic ammo, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. But it will work. Now I'm going to continue this design a little bit, so that we have enough production or enough capacity for this stuff. And I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I made a little design, and in order to keep to make this a recurring thing, we're going to make a blueprint of it. It's a pretty small design, but we can copy and paste this. Let's see, accumulator bank 1. Now, to automate this process, we can get rid of this. We don't need that little small electrical pole, because I use that to hook it up to this power grid. But for this system, we basically need medium electrical poles, we need 60 accumulators, and we need 4 lamps. So we're going to save that. Now, of course, we could place one here. Right, and we can basically extend this bank as far as we want. Like so. And this will save up a lot of power. Now we have some of this stuff, and the trees will be removed automatically. The accumulators will be brought in automatically, but we are not currently making lamps or medium electrical poles. So that is something we're going to fix right now as well. For that we need copper plates and we need steel plates. Now somewhere towards the south of our factory we should have the option to replace that sort of stuff. And also we have some steel furnaces. This is another thing that we wanted to do, or that I wanted to do, is I wanted to keep replacing this stuff. Now it seems like I replaced almost all of it here. I guess we want to continue in that direction, so never mind. Right, let's have a look. We need steel and copper plates for medium electrical poles. We also want to have a basic production area. So let's have a look. Which one do we want for this? We Yeah, this one will be okay. But we need to have copper plates and we need to have steel plates. Now steel plates are coming in from up here. We also have copper, so we could actually use this area for the power poles, because that is a pretty centralized location. So we're going to turn it around like so. We're going to keep 2 spaces right there. Now let's have a look. What do we need for big electrical poles? We need 5 copper plates and 5 steel plates. So we're basically going to copy this design so we have the same kind of setup. I think that will be okay. Well, we're going to keep it close to this area. Now, again, this is going to need regular assembly machine. Yeah, regular assembly machine. So we can make 20 of those and we will manually place this stuff because it is also not being made right now. But then we have to have a look at our hookup. So we have a lot of steel plates that are not being used right now, so we can get some steel off of this belt, right? And we will lead it down over here. Then we need to have, let's have a look. Yeah, we can have a splitter right there. We're going to turn this to the right. Then we're going to have an underground belt going over this way. And then a regular belt is going to hook up this little system for us right there. Now all of this is slowly being made, however we still need to put in the assembly machines number 1 ourselves. So that is something that I'm going to do. I'm going to help set this up and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so we set up our first little system. We can use this one for medium electrical poles, so we're going to copy this and paste it onto all of the other assemblers. Now we've got automatic or passive provided chests. We are going to limit this to 2 slots each, so we will have about 200 of these medium electrical poles that can be picked up by our by our robots basically. And then these guys are going to be making big electrical poles, so they're going to require a little bit more, which is fine. Again, we are going to need 2 of these passive provider chests. Now I would like to have these guys be serviced by fast inserters. We're going to get these guys set up, and I think what we didn't do, yeah, these were fast inserters as well, so never mind. So that is fine. However, we're going to need more of this stuff. So what we could do is we could speed this up a little bit. We could also get a fast splitter. We'll make that. And I guess we should get a fast underground belt. However, we don't have the iron gears or the regular metal to make those stuff. So we can get some metal right here. However, I would like to have some... never mind. We'll make those things ourselves. So what do we need? We need an fast underground belt. And I guess we skipped that one. So these things are also going to be making some stuff for us. Now we could also use this stuff right here. Actually, this is not going to be a constant source of things that are going to be taken off of the belt. So actually this is kind of a dead end. It doesn't really matter what we do with it. However, we are still going to finish setting this up. So we will get a fast splitter right there just to make sure. We will get a fast underground belt right there. And let's have a look. We can get fast underground belts over here as well. And this will work out nicely, because now we can use these guys for our second power pole production. Right, and then we need a regular underground belt. Right, there we go. Now these guys can start making the big electrical poles. We are going to need quite a few more resources for this, but it should work nicely. Meanwhile, we should also get started on regular research. Let us have a look. We could do military research free, and that will lead us to a whole bunch of new things, including artillery, which we will be almost ready to make. So actually, let's go start the research on this, and then we can start the automatic production of all of this stuff. Now another thing that we want is we want to have the automatic production of small electrical poles. Now we cannot feed the wood to this production facility until we get proper chests that can request materials. However, that doesn't really matter all that much. We could start a little production area nonetheless. So let's have a look at what we need. We need to have 2 inputs for this, so we could use one of these. However, we also need a different production facility. Like we can build this one here. But then we also need a separate production facility for copper wire, and we need one for wood. Because for the small electrical poles we need wood and we need copper cables. So do we still have a regular production blueprint? I think right now all that we have is pretty advanced stuff. Now what is this? This is mining drills. This is a blueprint for power stuff, a blueprint for whatever. Defense layer, a blueprint book for other stuff. Right, so this is something that we are going to have to fix. Let's have a look. We need to get a regular production thing. We can copy that off of... I'll just have a look. Now this guy can go over here. Yeah, we have a single thing over here that we can copy. So let's have a blueprint. Oh, I see. This is interesting. There we go. Now I guess we could copy this. So we have a regular blueprint. We can basically copy and paste this right here. We can get rid of this. No, this is not quite nice. This is not quite what I want. We can copy this entire thing. We can get rid of these guys. Like we can get rid of all of this basically. We can also get rid of this and this. We can get rid of all of these guys. Basically all we need is this little area down here. We can even get rid of that and this. So we have small electrical poles. We have, yeah, basic production. Yeah, oh wait. Man, this alcohol is fucking with me. I should not record this stuff when I'm slightly drunk, but oh well. Let us have a look. We want... What do we want? We want to start moving towards artillery. For that we need military 4. For that we need the high-tech science packs, which we are not currently making. So, alright. We need to research something else. We could research nuclear power. That is a lot of resources, which we don't really need at the moment. Battery equipment, tanks. Yeah, we could research tanks. That is very quick, actually. Doesn't matter all that much. Alright, so all of these guys are going to require lights at some point. That's another thing that we have to automate. So basically, maybe this episode isn't even about expansion, it's just about making sure that we can expand. Right? And also we need to make sure that this is hooked up, like, or not hooked up, but we want to make sure that this is all labeled on the main map as well. So we have medium, big. Now this will be the small electrical poles. However, for that to work, we want to have... Where did it go? No, it's not this. Did we lose a blueprint somewhere? Did I not save it? I think I saved it. Alright, so I'm going to fix that. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so we're getting very close. Tank research is finished, so we can start researching something else. Braking Force 1 might be a nice idea. Now, all of this stuff is being made into copper wire. The copper wire needs to be hooked up to this little system right here, which actually this is turned around in a little bit of an awkward way. But we can make it work. We can just go all the way around. So let's have a look. We're going one, down by 1. And we're going up. We're going to drag this along this side. Now let's have a look. We need the wood to be inserted down here. We can do that like so. Meanwhile, this stuff needs to come down along this side and then be inserted over there. Now then, we need quite a bit more material. Let's get some of this. Let's get some of this stuff. because we could use it. And we need some iron plates. There's not a whole lot we can gather from here, unfortunately. We really do need the extra production. So we're making 5 right now. Let's make 5 more. Now let's have a look. Now what we want to do here is at some point we're going to replace these 2 chests that we have right here. We're going to replace them with requester chests, because those things will automatically ask for wood, and if we have any available in our storage chests, they will be brought over there automatically. For now, however, we will need to feed this stuff by hand. So for this we are going to need wood, which I don't seem to have a lot of at the moment, but we do have a lot of that in storage, so we could actually ask for that. Let's have let's say 600 raw wood brought to us, and these guys are going to gather it up for us, so we can put it into this other little machine. Now we got the 10 things right there. We also need to make sure that we have we need some more red computer chips, actually, to make 1 more red chest, because we're going to need it. These trains are fast, man. I saw the other one pass me by right there. It's like, wow, that's insanely fast. Alright, let's get some of both of these, I guess. There we go. That will do nicely. We can get rid of this one. Look at this wood coming from all over the place now. Alright, so we are going to place down the remaining few little things right here. And I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so our little system is set up. And now all we really need to do is we need to insert some wood over into these chests, which will then be divided over into these 2 little lanes. This will then start to create wood for us, and the wood is going to come down. It's going to take a little while. But all of that stuff is then going to move towards this area, for which we also need 10 long-headed inserters, which we should not forget to make, otherwise this whole setup doesn't work. And that's another thing that we are going to have to automate. But for now, this stuff should work. We have about, yeah, we will have 150 in this one and 150 in this one. For now though, there's a lot of stuff still that is being requested, so it's going to take a little while to fulfill our entire order, but at some point that is going to be fulfilled and we can start moving on, because right now we have quite a lot of things still waiting to be built. Let's have a look. We're under attack again. Ah, we got a turret that got destroyed, but a new turret should be on its way. This is going to be repaired and or replaced, actually. Never mind. Alright, so what we are making right here, this is wood right there, and then this is copper wire. So we're going to put that on the map. Meanwhile, these 2 things should be reserved for steel. We can mark it on the map already, I guess. There we go. Now what are we still waiting for here? Basically, we are waiting for red inserters over this area, but we have 485 items that are still waiting to be built. And for that to be built, we need to automate several things, including red-handed inserters, blue-handed inserters, assembling machines number 2, chemical plants, and so on. Meanwhile, braking force is done. Let's do braking force number 2, I guess, because why not, right? And wow, this is already done, and all of this stuff is being placed right now. So that is a lot of stuff already done. But yeah, we're going to require a few more things before all of our orders can be used up, basically, or can be built. So we're going to mark all of this stuff on the map, because that is quite useful for us. Now this is going to be the red computer chips. Right there. This is empty, so this basically needs to be replaced, because we are no longer getting any iron from that location. We could expand over here. That should be an easy expansion, so that is something that we might consider. We have another attack coming in. These guys are gathering for the next main assault. We have 2 tanks in there, which is rather unfortunate. But we're going to survive. We have another attack coming in from over here. These are all spitters by the looks of it. And look at that. This is their favorite spot to attack. We have so many bodies. That is... oh man. Alright, so... now that we have all of our electrical poles sorted out and available in our main supply network, what else do we need? We would like to have red-handed inserters. So now we need iron plates, iron gear wheels, and inserters. Now the inserters are being made over here. And for the red-handed, like, we needed iron plates, iron gear wheels, and inserters. So inserters can actually be brought in over here. You just need to continue this over into this direction. And iron gear wheels and iron plates are being used over here as well. So all of this is actually pretty easy to hook up. But we are going to need assembly machines too. And for that we are going to need a lot of iron, which we don't currently have. So maybe we should suck some stuff off of this belt. And then get some iron from over here, because the iron is king in this game. We always need more iron. There we go, we can make 10 of these. Now these guys are going to be making red-handed inserters, right? So let's have a look. Let's select this stuff. And this is basically going to be a dead end, so I'm not too concerned about this exact location with all of the other belts that are going on, because these are basically going to be accessed by robots and nothing else. And robots don't really have to worry about any of this stuff over here. So let's have a look. We need 10 long-handed inserters. We need to make sure that all of this stuff is hooked up to the power supply, which it is currently not. Let's have a look. Now, we're going to copy this, make sure that all of this stuff is being built into that kind of thing. Let's have a look. Then we can hook this up over here. Right, so that is the inserters. And then we needed this stuff to combine and be split up over this. So we can actually do that pretty easily. We can just drag these along. Apparently for some reason, I don't know why, there was an inserter lying on the ground right there. But oh well. Alright, so we have this. We can get an underground belt right here. We will curve this down and sideways. And then we need to place all of these things down. And we also need 2 passive provider chests, because these things are going to be quite popular. Now, the passive provider chests are going to be placed over... I guess we could even place them down here. And then we get 2 fast inserters, which we still have. Right, we will place a little power pole right there, and we're going to limit this to 2. So that we will have 200 in storage, and that is about it. However, these guys are not being accessed by roboports. There is this one... Look at this shit. There is this one little green spot that is not being used. Anyway, we can fix that pretty easily. We can put this thing down here. We can hook it up to the power supply. We can even put in a little light, which is another thing that we are going to want to automate. But this stuff is requested throughout the factory, so our robots are flying in to build it wherever we need it, which is really, really cool. Now then, we can mark this up on the map that we have the production of long-handed inserters right there. Right, we could have blue-handed inserters right here. For that we need iron plates, electronic circuits, and regular inserters. That is also pretty easy. Iron plates, we need more of that stuff, but we could get it, and we will get it. So let us fix that shit right now. And then I have to go to bed because it is almost 12 o'clock. I have to get up at 6 in the morning. So actually I should probably already be in bed, but I'm having fun playing Factorio, so screw that. Right. Right, so this stuff is not hooked up to the main supply yet. And again, that is something that is easily rectified. Actually, this should be hooked up. Ah, okay, we need One inserter right there. Okay, I see. Basically what we need to do is we need to make sure that this is hooked up with resources, and that's about all we need. Right, so we are also going to need 2 regular passive provider chests. We're going to make those. Going to place them down right there. We're going to limit them to 2 slots each. Man, I'm getting a little bit of a speech impediment here. Alright, let's get 2 of these guys to insert it into the provider chests. Alright, and I'm going to finish setting this up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so it's basically set up, and for this we needed the inserters, so we're going to get that right now. We're going to get a splitter on this belt right here. Going to turn it along to the right hand side. Now what else did we need? We needed electronic circuits, which we can also get from right here and here. And then we needed iron plates. Now the iron plates are a little bit more of an issue, but we can get them from down here actually. So let us have a look. We want to combine these circuits with those iron plates down here. Well, we can actually continue this little setup that we have right here. Get an underground belt. Right, and then we're going to need a splitter right here. Right, and then we're going to need, let us have a look. Actually, let's get a splitter right there. That means this one needs to be down by 1. Because we want to have an underground belt going from here to there. And that is not going to work out any other way. Right, so this one can go down over here. This stuff is then being made. And then we need to get this stuff from down there. And let's have a look. How do we want to combine it? Well, it's going to be an interesting combination, I think. Because what I think the only way to really do it from down here is to put in a splitter right there. And to curve that one up. And then we're going to take this along the center. Right. Let's have a look. We are going to get one from over here. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. But it doesn't matter. Because it's going to work. And that is the most important thing. Right, so we're going to curve this up, sideways and down. Let's have a look. We will get an underground belt right there. We're going to get an underground belt right there. One right here. Sideways, down, sideways. This is going to curve back up. That's going to work just fine. And let's have a look. We needed the green computer chips. Right. So we need it over here. So we're going to up, sideways, down. Get an underground belt right here. One right there. Hook it up. And then we're going to need one final inserter right there. Alright. So we have currently got a complete shortage of green computer chips, and that's something we're going to have to fix. But I'm going to do that tomorrow because, well, it's 12 o'clock, and like I said, I need to get up at 6 in the morning, so I'm up way past my bedtime. But that is what Factorio will do to you, so I don't really care all that much. Let's get rocket shooting speed meanwhile. And then we should also mark this on the map, like this is going to be fast inserters right there. And this is going to be something else at some point in the future. What else do we still need here? We need lights. So lights is another thing that we are going to want to automate. This should be fairly simple as well. We need iron plates, we need iron sticks, and electronic circuits. That is not a lot to ask. Anyway, that is something, like I said, that we're going to have to fix tomorrow. But the list is growing shorter. We have 133 lamps that we need, 60 chemical plants, 46 assembly machines number 2, 30 assembly machines number 1, 4 storage tanks and 2 wooden chests. We don't really need to automate the wooden chests because, well, screw that, alright? We're going to put those into... we're going to make them accessible by the robots, like putting them in storage. What else was there? We needed 4 tanks. Another thing that right now, it's not a really big priority to automate, so that is something we are going to do in the future, but lamps would be nice. And what else? The assembly machines will be very nice to have as well. So all of the other stuff, we're going to put it into, and the chemical plants too, actually. But yeah, outside of that, this is something we're going to work on tomorrow. So I'll see you guys. Well, basically for you it's going to be a second. For me it's going to be almost 24 hours. Well, it's the following day. I've sobered up and to my defense it was still weekend yesterday. So yeah, today we're going to start working on something else, and that is going to be lights. I like to have some lights in my factory. At least I would like to have them automated. And after that, we're going to start working on something else, which is the means of our expansion. And that is going to be laser turrets. For that, we are going to need quite a lot of steel plates. We need 12 batteries and 20 electronic circuits. We miss a lot of that. So this is something that we're going to have to improve. As you can see, we don't have nearly enough green computer chips coming in. There is some that is backed up over here, but it is not going to be enough. Now, what will we do first? Let's have a look. Battery MK2 equipment. Let's research that. Why not? Now, as for lights. Lights will be pretty easy. We need 1 iron plate, 3 iron sticks, which we can make from iron plates, and we need 1 electronic circuit. Now, this is going to be a dead end. So it doesn't really matter what we do with this or what we use it for. We could just use a little small area. We don't even need to have like a setup like we have over here. We can just do a small setup. So we could have like 5 of these assembly machines making sticks out of iron plates. Now we do have plenty of iron plates though. So we can split this up and grab some of those. And we're going to hug this stuff wherever we can before crossing over. Right, now we're going to go underneath. Now then, assembly machine 1. We can have, actually we need to be going up by 1. We will have 5 things like this. Right. We're going to drag this over. Then of course we are going to need an exit point, which I'm not entirely sure yet where we're going to lead it, because let's have a look. One final time we needed lights. Iron plates, 3 iron sticks. So what we could do is we could have all the sticks led up onto this area here, right? And now we could bend the iron to go back onto that. So we could do it basically like this, and we can get a splitter. We'll put a splitter right there, and we're under attack again somewhere. Let's have a look. Something is being damaged or even destroyed. Yes, even destroyed, and other stuff is almost destroyed as well. Now this is all going to be replaced automatically, and it will happen before the next attack, I think. But it is an issue, and we're going to have to fix it. Meanwhile though, this stuff is going to be creating iron sticks. And we really don't need a lot of this. It is only used in very few recipes. So that is something that we will probably only use over here, I think. And not in very many other places. Now then, battery MK2 is done. We could do... nuclear power requires a lot of stuff, eh? Is there anything that does more damage? Laser turret damage 3. We can do that one. I think that will be an excellent idea, because that is something that we are going to want to work on next. Right, so we get sticks, we got the other iron stuff, and then we needed, let's have a look, we needed computer chips, right? Yes, 1 computer chip. Now we could actually use that stuff from over here. That is not a big deal at all. So let's have a look. We could have like a second belt line right there. It's like one, that's the second belt. Now we have an inserter. Yeah, it doesn't quite work out with this line over here. So what we could do is actually, we will continue this little line at the bottom. Now then, we're going to also need 5 passive provider chests. More turrets got destroyed down here. Again, this is something that is going to be repaired and replaced. They don't have to fly very far. Right? I don't see the robots flying yet, but they will come. They will come. Anyway, let us continue on with this. We are going to drag this over to the end, and then we are going to need to make sure that this is accessed. So we're going to get a red-handed inserter over on this side, which means we can go down over here. Right. So, do we have any long-handed inserters? No, we don't. But we can craft some. We still have plenty of stuff. Right, we're going to have exits or outputs on this side. Then, of course, we're going to grab the long-handed inserters. And then, of course, we are going to hook all of this stuff up to the electrical system. Now then, we are going to need our chests, which we are going to limit to a single slot each, because then we will still have around 250. And these guys are going to be making lights for us. Where are the lights? Crap, we needed the blue ones. Blue ones. We need more iron plates. Let's cut some off of this belt. So we made 2. No, actually we have almost enough. I guess we still had 1 in our inventory, which is really cool. It works out. So, lights. There we go. Now that we are making lights, pretty soon this list is going to shorten by quite a bit. Another thing that we could automate is the assembly machines and so on, but that is not going to be our priority for now. We want to have batteries, steel plates and electronic circuits. And as you can see, we don't have nearly enough. So actually, this is a problem that we're going to fix. Look at this. All of my lights are being brought all over the place. That is awesome. We can only have 50 in each chest, but we will have 250. But as quickly as they are being made, they're flown out to be placed wherever they are needed. Which is, to be fair, we need them in a lot of recipes. Or in a lot of crafting areas, basically. Right, so we can mark this on the map as well. We are making sticks right here. We are making lights right there. That is huge. But hey, it works. Right. What about our power? How is power looking? We are making more than enough power, and that means we are also putting some of that stuff in storage. Now we have a lot of accumulators built or set up. We have around 1100 apparently. I saw 1.1k, which is really cool. Now we also have a lot of stuff over here that we could get rid of, because it is not producing anything anymore. So we could, in fact, just delete this entire thing. Right? And since we don't need this, we could get rid of all of that. This entire line is useless. And I don't have to do it manually, I can just let the robots do it. And they will put it into storage, which is fantastic. Wow. Where are we putting it onto another belt? I'm wondering. Because this is going quite far. I guess we divided it up over here somewhere. Wow. That's a lot of stuff. Okay, so it's going over here, over here, over here, under there. And this is where it is being divided. So, all of that is being picked up and being put into storage, which is really cool. We can also do laser turrets damage 4, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And now this entire belt line is cleaned up, and we don't have to have that clutter in our inventory. I really do love it. Alright then. We can also request lights in our inventory, so we could say we want to have 50 lamps in our inventory at all times, and I think that is a decent amount. That way we don't have to craft any more by hand, we can just put it over here, and people will make it for us. And as soon as we place any down, robots will come flying out and replace them. Which is really cool. But anyway, like I said, we don't have nearly enough of this stuff. And that means we are running a deficit somewhere. And my guess, because I actually have plenty of this stuff. What is the problem? We don't have enough iron ore coming in. Alright, so we need more iron plates. And we have some iron plates that are some belts that are basically completely full, and others that are not completely full because they're being used by many things. Yeah, that is an issue, and one that we are going to have to rectify. Look at this. These guys down here as well are not quite fast enough with production. These guys are also not quite getting their iron ore quickly enough. We could actually probably solve that partially by replacing all of those belts with fast transport belts, but then we are also going to need more iron ore. Now this field is entirely filled up, so we're not going to get any more. Or actually, we could get a few more, but not a tremendous amount. And that's going to be an issue. So we are going to have to add to it. Holy shit. We're getting a decent attack in. And this thing is almost destroyed, but the robots are already underway to fix it. It is so cool to look at that stuff, man. It never gets old. I really don't have to watch the perimeter anymore. It just works. Right, and this is another thing that is kind of annoying. I don't know why exactly, but these trees did not get automatically deleted from the blueprint, which is a little bit disappointing. Maybe I made a mistake myself though, which is entirely possible, so I'm not going to blame it on the game quite yet. And this is going to be a medium electrical pole, so it reaches this inserter as well. We're not even needing it or using it right now. But hey, there we go. We definitely need more iron ore. So I'm going to attempt to fix it. I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so I fixed most of this stuff with, at least in terms of the faster transport belts, but it's still not enough. We simply don't actually, I forgot this little bit right here. That is something else that I'm going to have to fix, but at any rate it's not enough to keep up with the demand. Our smelting is too quick. As you can see, half of this stuff isn't even working, and that is not acceptable. On this side it is looking slightly better, but still nowhere near good enough. So that is something that we're going to be working on. But in the meantime, let us do bullet damage 5, because this is really going to help out with our turrets and the way, or at least the speed at which they attack things. But meanwhile, I'm going to start securing this little area up in the top left. This is like 500,000 of iron ore. It's a pretty small patch, but it is going to help us out a little bit. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making another bit of straight rails. This is another thing that we should automate at some point in the future, but we cannot really do that until we have more iron ore. So until that time we are going to be crafting this stuff by hand. Afterwards we're going to be using steel to make the laser turrets. But after that we should definitely automate the automatic production of rails as well. Anyway, I'm going to get started on producing all of this stuff that we need. Do we have any walls in my inventory? No, we do not, but this is the wonder of the robotics facilities. We can request some stuff to be brought to us. So we can say, let's say we want to have 400 walls brought to us. Now these robots are going to come flying out our way and they're going to deliver it to us. Now, what this allows me to do in the meantime is we can start working on another little rail station right here. And I will still be in the range of the robots, so it doesn't really matter. If I move outside of my factory, they will not bring the walls to me, but as long as I'm working on setting up our basic infrastructure for all of this to work, it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to have 2 train carts, which means we need a little bit of space over here, but not too much. Let's see, we'll leave 4 spaces, I guess. We're going to have 1 line of stuff being inserted over here and 1 being inserted over here, and we should make it around the same height, I guess, as these ones. Just because. That's kind of nice, I guess. Alright. So, I will continue building this up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, so I'm working on a little system. Gun turret damage is what we're going to research next, because we need it. We've got some more attacks coming in, and we're not doing this damage quickly enough. So, yeah, that is something that we're going to be working on. Anyway, I wanted these stations to be mirrored, right? And I could not get it to work with facing the train stop the other way. For some reason, it just doesn't want to line up. So I had to swing this back around a little bit, and then what I figured I would do is I would like to try to make use of this same track, which I've never really done before. So that's going to be an interesting experience. But I want to use this little bit of track that we've already laid down, and I'm going to have an exit over here, and I'm going to have another train station over here that is going to unload our iron ore for us. Or we might even continue it on this way. Unload it up here. That could be interesting. Actually, in that case, you might have just as well put it over this way and then that way, I guess. But you know what? No, this actually works out. We can have the iron ore coming in through here, and that will be fine. I think. Is it? Will it be? Yeah, I just want to try this. So, right now, what we've got is we have several rail chain signals, and they're going to check up ahead if there's a free path. Now, there should be free paths over here. That is being checked for by this stuff. And we have a single one over here as well, a little bit further down the road, so we can actually make sure there is room for this entire train. Like, the entire train has passed over into this block. And, yeah. So basically that's going to be interesting, I think. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we will find out shortly. Meanwhile, I also got plenty of walls, so we can start making our facility later on. But now I'm going to continue with laying down some rails. We need it to be, let's say, yeah, need to keep a little bit of space, I guess. Again, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this will do. This is about the height that we are going to want to get. Now those robots want to take away my coal, but they'll have to wait just a little second. There we go. Hooked up our little train station. Now what we need to do is we still have rail chain signals. I think 2 of those will be enough, but we also need regular rail signals. Now let us have a look. So the rail chain signal should be in front of the exit of the way you're trying to go. So we should place one right there, I think. Maybe we should get one more of each. And then we will get a rail signal. Place it down on the other way. We'll get a rail chain signal over on this side, with a regular rail signal over here. And let's have a look. We need at least 4 carriages. And this is the rail chain signal. So we need to make sure that we have space for those 4 carriages, basically. And that will be right about there, with a rail signal on the other way. And this one is going to check for the other side. So hopefully this will allow us to use this little section of the rails by different trains. I really hope. That will be really cool. Now then, let's have a look. We will continue this over in that direction as far as we can bring it, I guess. Right, there we go. And we're going to put a train stop right there. And we're going to call this iron ore input 1. And that is going to line up with iron ore 1. Now we're going to make this entirely blue, like the train and the other train stop. And now we can start making a new route. So this locomotive will add iron ore 1 time passed at iron ore 1, or until inventory is full or 30 seconds have passed, and then at iron ore input 1 time passed, or inventory empty. And then we can set it to automatic. And we can actually order it to go here right away, and we can have a look at what the trains are doing, or at least what the signals are doing. We need to keep an eye on this to see if it actually crashes. So this stays red, which means that the other train cannot pass. That is good until this train has cleared this direction, which will then go here. Right, it has to wait right here until the other train has passed the other intersection. It then goes up into its own little train station here. That is awesome. I've never tried that before, but now that I figured out how the rail chain signals work, this is fantastic. I really like this. I'm going to be having a lot of fun with that. Now, meanwhile though, sadly I don't have enough steel to create steel chests. That is going to be a problem. So for now, I will resort to wooden chests like a peasant, which I really don't like, but oh well, here we are. Now we also need about 12 of these fast inserters. Actually, we need 24. We need way more than that, than what we have. But we have some iron ore right here, so let's have a look. We're making 10. We have 10. Let's make 4 more and then 10 more on top of that, so that we are sure to have enough. Now this guy is also getting coal from up here from the other station. So that is all good. Oh, I don't like it when they attack this little corner. Look at that. They do so much damage. There's only 2 turrets covering this sector. And we need another radar tower here, because the one we had got destroyed and it never got replaced. Anyway, let's have a look. We need to have these boxes over here. Later on, they're going to be replaced. I'm going to finish setting this up, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, and it seems we have our first problem. Not entirely sure where this guy was trying to go. But it clearly didn't work. As soon as he clears this area, this train is free to go again. So that's a bit of an issue. Real chain signal, I guess we need another one up on the other side maybe. So let's get another real chain signal and a regular real signal. We'll place one here with a real signal on that side, I guess. This one should be blocked because we have a train here, so it doesn't actually allow this. Actually, maybe we should move this on further, where we have enough for 4 cars. So that should be about here, I guess. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. With a real signal on the other side. Right. Now then, this should work. This guy is now waiting until it clears the next sector. And actually this means that we should probably get more up ahead, so that this guy can move through a little bit smoother as well. So we'll get a real chain signal on this side, with a regular real signal on that side, I guess. And then that should work, and then this guy is going to check for this little section right here. And that should all work, I think. Meanwhile, gun turret damage 5 is done. We cannot do the next one. However, we should still have bullet shooting speed. So that is something else that we're going to be doing. Anyway, I need to figure out a way to hook this up, because this one is actually pretty full. And actually, like, this belt is completely full, so it's going to be wasted on that, which means we need a second input. Actually, we could do it over here, I guess. Like, this is very thin, and we need to get more. But we also need to make sure that we get some iron over on this side. So, yeah. What to do, what to do. I guess we could focus this on one side for now. And let's have these 2 belts run over here and make sure that all of this is saturated. And then the other iron ore stuff that we're going to get from right here, I guess, we will feed that into this little system here. And we can actually feed that on top of what we have right there. So we can have a train from here to there, unloading, putting it onto these belts. Yeah, actually, you know what? I really like the idea of that. So that is what we're going to do. Right, so I'm going to finish the hookup. I'm going to put down all of the robot ports and electric mining drills and so on. And I'll see you guys in a second. Oh man, just as I was moving out, look at what's coming our way. Yeah. Building this stuff up is going to be our top priority, I think. We should actually make sure that we expand with a roboport straight away. That is priority number 1. So let's see. Actually, I'd like this to be hooked up entirely. So we will do it like this. We actually have 3 of these in my inventory, so we're going to use all of them. Right, and by having them all over this place here, we should ensure that both I can get reinforced with the stuff that I need when I need it. And luckily we have still got plenty of those. But yeah. They're also going to send out repair bots for anything that might get damaged along the way. And that is what I am primarily interested in right now. Let's have a look. We will place one down right there. Awesome. Now then, walls, turrets, let's go. I'll do this in my own time, by the way. Also, we need to research some more stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that now as well. Alright, so my robots are building shit for me. This will soon be up and running, I hope. Meanwhile, I'm hooking this all of this up to the main train station. So we're almost done. The trains are running. We should have fresh inputs of iron pretty soon, which feels really good. But then we're going to be putting a cut into this episode because I've been playing for a while. We got a lot of stuff done, and basically, yeah, we've been playing for too long. So that's about it. I'm going to finish setting this up in my free time, but please leave a like and a comment below if you enjoyed this content and wish to see more. And I'll see you guys for whatever video I do next. Also, research. Let's do mining productivity. Why not?